Okay, checking my audio. Test test. Hello, hello. Can anyone hear me? Okay, everything's working. That's all I need to know. Okay. Uh, all right. I'm still not used to Warframe being so zoomed out, but let's see. Where is the Archon shard this week? It's all the way here, and it's a purple. So I need melee, Scaldra, Tech Rod. Okay. I'm just gonna jump straight into doing stuff. I forgot about the borrow relay, completely. Whoopsie. Um, is the TennoCon thing gone as well? Wasn't it on? I don't remember where it was. Doesn't matter. Okay. Um, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think. Hang on. Let me. I got to check the chat and whatnot. Test test. Okay, that works. My Twitch stuff isn't on. It should be on. Why is my Twitch stuff not on? Hang on. Twitch, you working? There we go. Yeah, Twitch is working. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to start doing some video content, right? I think I'm just gonna focus on talking more about Warframe at the moment, and just do some short videos regarding that topic. And maybe just it doesn't necessarily have to be like properly um properly, scripted or anything like that. Oh, Twitch has vertical videos now? Okay. Um I am not setting that up right this second. Can make me. Okay. So first and foremost, let's set it to public. Because we know that I need some help. I mean, when Hildren is one of the choices. Also, Sight's a good choice too. All right, let's set up a Hildren, I guess. All right. This is Atlas. I'm not used to everything ever. Okay. So we got Hildren. So expertise is kind of just a meme, right? Like it's not. I don't think I've ever gotten it to work well, and I think it's better to have like more things like Aegis, right? Or more power strength or anything. Um, Technically, I don't need Zataw's Whisper. Uh, it's kind of whatever. We'll figure it out. Balefire Chargers. I think they changed how Innervate works with them, so they might not be as strong. I could get rid of Zataz for something else. Totally within the realm of rationality. Okay, what weapons? Nothing that I want to use. We can take the Grimoire for extra efficiency, I guess. Or Power String. They need to introduce more Grimoires, though. Like, they gotta stop adding... Um... They gotta stop adding types of... Um... Yeah, we'll do this. They gotta stop adding types of weapons without continuing their line, you know? We get so few weapons now that, like... What? They only come out in, like, character things. Character introductions nowadays. Let's see. Techo, I think. I keep getting the Techo. That's the only reason I know their name. And we have a tank, so we gotta take Shattering Impact. I don't think I'm missing any attack speed, right? Because, yeah, we have Fury. We are missing Magnetic Rush. How many of these do I have? I don't have a ton of them, but whatever. We'll do that. We'll do that. And then we'll do Magnetic Rush. So the reason why I want this is we want Duplicate, and if we want Duplicate, we want some crit. We don't need a lot of crit, we just want some crit. Because I don't expect to be using it a lot. I can also just go Gladiator. No. So basically 50% of the time I'll hit twice. That's basically what the setup is. And if I hit twice, that means I have less issues. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. Okay. I could go for all of it, but I don't need the pick strips. I don't think I need to worry too much about anything. I could go for more string. I could also go for more duration. Here, let's go wacky. Also, I need to change myself back from cross-platform only, or not non-cross-platform, because like during TennoCon I dropped the cross-platform stuff just so that I could get a better relay. Okay, so I want to do. I don't care about Bright Bonnet. Blood Altar could be funny. I'm looking for something that places down something. Right? Could do Larva. Regenerative Mold only works on HP, right? Master Summons, Null Star. I don't think this counts. Open of Eyes. Parasitic Armor. Parasipacity. Petrify. I can do Resonator. I can do Resonator. That could be funny. I could also do Tesla Nervos. I think the most consistent one's going to be Webbed Embrace, though. Yeah, we'll do Webbed Embrace. Pheromones. So we're going to get rid of Haven. And we're going to choose configuration B. I can't even disable ads if I wanted to. I can snooze them. Snooze. There we go. Only for 5 minutes. Shame. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap to this. So instead of let's get rid of everything. So duration is nice. I do want Aegis. And then I want Sculptor. So I don't have a full Sculptor yet. But that's okay. I don't need a full Sculptor. It's just that it's going to be nice no matter what, right? Because now, let's do this, press Aura. Sure. Oh, we'll do Mecha Empowered. We can also slot in Coaction Drift if I have enough space for it. Because that's going to be, what? 15, so I get benefit 30% from this, right? So that's 0.3 of 15 is, oh, is it 45? So it's 4.5, so it's, yeah, so it's, I get 200 damage. Oh, yeah, 200% is not bad, not bad. Anyways, so we want full strength and full duration. We don't care about efficiency now, right? We do care about the shield capacity, though. Now we want duration. We also want range. That's another thing we need to balance. Is we definitely want range. Where we can grab it. You're not taking it overextended. Okay, so that's my normal range. So I have 2 D polarities. I have 3 D polarities. I don't know how much sure-footed matters. We're taking clearly this. I had rolling guard here before. I don't really need rolling guard though, which is the issue. Oh, someone is in chat. Give me a moment. I'm building for Archimedia. I also want to talk, like, there's been a lot of talk about balance in the game, so that's something I want to address at some point today. We'll do more shield capacity, sure. Let's see, because like the only reason I'm using Hildren right now is because I got Hildren as my Archimedia partner today. That's the main reason why I'm using Hildren. Oh, I forgot. In order to use Hildren, I need her augment. Blazing Pillage would be fun if I had Haven, but I don't have Haven, so it doesn't matter. What can I drop? Oh, it does her max shields? That could be kind of funny. I guess I could drop that. So I gain a little bit more duration. It's not a lot of strength loss. I still have more strength than I did before. So how's life been, Xing?
Hey, hi, fellow time traveler. It's okay to like these.
Universal follow. That's like okay. Now I have. So basically, I have 1,000 plat right here with arcane hotshots.
Did you get any rares? Thanks for believing me.
Okay.
Dude. Okay, get your loadout ready because once you're locked in.
Okay. So what's the first mission? It's exterminate. Exterminate's whatever. We'll take it. Sees you. A Legacy harvest is a pain in my booty. Let's see. Do any of these have like thermion plating? Okay, that's gonna be really annoying. Let's do XL and let's do thermion RPG. On the job hunt? Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. It takes a long time to find a job nowadays. That's just like the unfortunate truth, and especially in any like developed countries, it's almost impossible unless you're just willing to say, "Hey, I'm going to become a construction laborer," and then construction's always hiring, right? But like,
Belmir and Minerva are ready when you are.
it's at the point where it's really hard to even find work as a like someone really low down on the rung because like everyone wants experienced laborers now. But I don't know. Everyone's situation is different. Everyone's country is different. So I'm looking really forward to playing more Warframe in the next little bit because you know, there's always new stuff Oh, well, there's a bunch of new stuff happening now. Why can't I shoot? Apparently, Hildren is being so massively overrepresented in these back parts of the game. I think one of the biggest keys is that like people don't realize that, or like the EU hasn't realized that like people don't like RNG, and they're just gonna take the path of least resistance, right? So it's always gonna be a thing. I don't expect to do a lot of damage, mind you. I don't even think I'm prepared well for this stuff. I'm gonna just stop this so that I don't lose my shields for no reason. Yeah, do I not have Innervate working? It doesn't look like it's working. It's okay. Oh, it was that one? Mother. Okay, we doubled our own problems. Because we weren't looking for the thing. My own fault. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Save me. I forgot to change my pet. It's also kind of whatever. We have two Hildrens. It's I need to get a maxed out Arcane Sculptor at some point though. It's just gonna be nice to have. Yes, because most modifiers don't work on her, and like she's progressively gotten more and more powerful over time, right? Did I go the wrong way? This is the reason why I don't like exterminate all that much. Is because I don't know where I'm supposed to be going half the time. Especially in these complicated places. That person's clearly running what was it called? Expertise. Because look at how much shield they got. I'm just... Hang on. There we go. Oh, I'm stuck. And then we got Legacy Harvest and whatnot. So, like, if you don't want her to... Like, here's... I've been hearing a lot of things, but I don't think, like, a lot of it really deals with the core issue, right? So people are talking about, like, oh, what if it was like Hades or like Destiny, where like you could pick the modifiers and that's what affects your research points and whatnot. And I'm in total agreement with that, right? But it doesn't fundamentally fix like the usage problems of Warframe, right? Because like at the end of the day, Hildren's still gonna be really, really sought after and picked. So instead of having like fixed tiers, so I was watching a Cool Kids video, right? Hello, Liana. Welcome, welcome. I'm just gonna wait at the end. Not really much reason for me to keep doing stuff. Yeah, I was watching Cool Kids video about it, and he was talking about having tiered systems of whatchamacallit, of modifiers. Basically, the easy modifiers give less points, the harder modifiers give more points, right? I think it should be dynamic, personally. And by dynamic, I mean, like, think of it like a reverse stock trade. So if everyone picks one modifier in the previous week, right, that modifier will overall be worth less, right? Alright. Work on overlays. That's good to hear. It's good to be busy. Where is the closest enemy? Oh, they're a bunch here. Like, why? Guys. Like, so, for instance, if everyone picks Hildren, right? Like, everyone starts at, like, everyone's worth, like, 3 points, right? So, if Hildren is the most used, right? She's gonna go down in value, right? For the next week. And her value will keep going down as long as she's the most popular, right? But the least used Warframes that week, they'll go up in value, right? Oh, yeah, but I mentioned that I don't do that on Discord, right? That's why, like, you sent me a message on Twitter, right? Or at least that's what I imagine you did. Mind you, still, I still don't have a lot of time for social media right now. Yeah, like Ribbon Disposition. Completely like Ribbon Disposition. Oh, I have the wrong... Ugh. I'm just such a mess today. I'm such a mess. Yeah. No, I like... once again, right, my time with social media is really limited. I will do my best to get back to you. It's just... I don't have a lot of spare time right now, right? So... it might take a little bit of time, but I will get back to you. Don't worry about it. As for Discord stuff, Discord is for, you know, different types of professional contacts. The same with email. But yeah, I might be a little slow with this stuff, but I will get to you. Promise you that. I vaguely remember you mentioning this. It's a little hard to see what's going on. Especially when this thing's running away constantly. Yeah, so similar to like Riven Disposition Xing. Almost exactly like that. Except it's more dynamic in the fact that like the devs don't just decide which one is correct and which one isn't, you know? It's just happening on a weekly basis, like the stock trade, right? Like if that's or not, like a little bit less volatile than the stock trade, you know? It's just like I guess it's like a resource trade, I guess. That way, like, if everyone collectively decides something is good, or like one modifier in particular is really, really popular, right? Then it's going to be picked every week. And if it's picked every week, then, like, it's not going to be that valuable, right? Bonuses to anything that is not picked at all, right? Or very unpopular ones. I think that's I think that would be a little bit more of a interesting take on it, because that way is just like, it's not that they're just saying, hey, there's penalties for using X Warframe, right? Or or you have to take a butt ton of the same modifier every week, because that's the biggest issue, right? Like, at the end of the day, you're just going to be stuck using the same thing over and over again. That's what they want to prevent, right? So if it's a dynamically changing system, then it's not going to be an issue, right? At least that's what I think, in my opinion. Oh, I mean, for the longest time, I have been a what was it? A variety streamer. It's just that I don't have time right now, and for content creation, right? If I cannot consistently stream, then being a variety streamer is essentially like a guarantee that I'll never grow, right? So, and that's for YouTube, that's for Twitch, right? If I was a little bit bigger, like if I had a consistent following of, or viewership of like 10 or 15, 20 people, that, yeah, no, 100% I would be doing different games every week, right? But right now, I don't have that as a option. I don't know if that makes sense though. Like because like the algorithm, like I'm not big enough for the algorithm to care about me, right? And what I do. I have to care about what is, like, about the algorithm more than it cares about me. So, and regardless of what I'm playing, I need to be consistent. I need to choose something and sit with it for a little bit, which is not my favorite thing. I would definitely be preferring to play other games if possible, but since I've done so often with my YouTube and whatnot while I was experimenting, like it's gonna take a long time before like, I see any growth on my YouTube channel again. So what I should be focusing on more, if I wanted to work purely on my growth, is actually creating proper videos instead of just streaming, which I will be doing soon. I'm just, you know, just trying to stay consistent with my weekly streams when I can. I can't stream every week right now because, you know, life is kicking me in the balls. But I'm doing what I can for everyone. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. I understand that. I understand that fully. But I'm doing my best. Yes, I will be focusing on creating videos and permanent content. The main thing is, like, VODs work. It's just that they're not the best way of generating viewership. And depending on the type of content, the duration of the content really matters, right? If I'm doing short stories, if they're animated, they can be like anything from like 5 minutes to 10 minutes long. But if it's like informational, they want 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's all about viewer retention. It's all about viewer retention. And right now, like, the thing that will get the most viewer attention is talking about game balance in the latest parts of the game, this game in particular, at least for what my YouTube is currently geared towards. Because YouTube for years has been pushing me to continue creating Warframe content, so it might be in my best interest just to hard focus Warframe, make shorts, and everything. Talking about this stuff. I have to get into the habit of actually just spending time making, like, working on video editing, though. So, like, there's a reason why I'm not streaming multiple games at the moment. Otherwise, I'd definitely be playing Deltarune or something like that on stream, too. Because, like, a lot of my growth came from playing Rain World, for instance. A lot of my growth came from Warframe. So, there's a lot more game in Warframe than there is in Rain World, so I basically, like, consistently play Warframe on this channel. There's so many target markers. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I hope I'm going the right way. I'm definitely not going the right way. There it is. The sprawling maps are nice and all. I just wish I knew where I was going, or that more paths led to the end, instead of it being like, oh, you have to take this one specific route. I can't pick this up. Or do I have one already? Oh, maybe. I do intend to hire an editor and a VOD scraper. In not too long time from now. Because, like, I do have passive, like, a decent amount of passive income now, so. Amongst everything else. But once again, I'll be making it really clear what my needs are. There was a guy right in front of me that I couldn't see. I need to be careful because I don't have shields. There we go. Uh oh, the bad. Yep. I also, like, despite everything that's happened, I still want to play Helldivers at some point more. But, like, it's still not... Like, it's hard to support the company any further. Due to, their behavior. Oh, my attack speed is so slow. Where are you? There you are. Just gotta keep things going. So yeah, the tank is invulnerable until you kill the little pimples on its butt. So, so you can see, like, there's a little pimple thing. There we go. And now it's vulnerable. We should probably revive this guy before anything else. So I'm set up to take away this thing's armor, as well as do a bunch of damage to it, so... I need a better thumbnail pipeline, that's for sure. Because my thumbnail pipeline is very mediocre at best. Like, because it doesn't make sense for me to spend, oh god, so much of my time actually, like, manually making thumbnails. How did I miss? It's a rocket. Oh god, oh god, oh god, save me, save me. Yeah, I'm only doing... Oh wait, it's because this thing exists. Let's get rid of that, please. Okay. How much damage am I actually doing? Not that much. You can see that I'm not doing that much damage at the moment. My setup is really bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing half the damage, so I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be complaining about my damage output. This other Hildred is so useless in this fight. They're just shooting the tank with their guns, and their guns don't work on it. The tank has to be attacked with RPGs this time around. I can't see what's going on. I don't know what I'm even getting knocked back by. What is happening? Wait, I can just summon an RPG. There we go. Oh god. I need to stop using whatever I am using. Okay, I don't see any enemies for me to shoot. Just get my RPG. Okay, thanks game. I would like to use the item that I brought. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. Still, as per usual, guys. Largest contribution. Oh, you know what? I think someone brought, what was the sticker called? It Sees You, which summons a little orb that follows a player and explodes, so that they can get extra rewards. Which is nice if you can actually handle yourself, but if you're constantly dying, it's kind of annoying. Oh yeah, it's... Enemy design, I think, in 1999, which is what I'm playing right now, or the game mode that I'm playing right now, is a little hit or miss. The tank is definitely a miss for me. I think it's, like, way too goofy. Yeah, so, I think right now, like, to focus on just building my channel, Warframe-wise, I'm going to be mostly talking about, or responding to other similar videos. Talking about important subject matter. I'm not going to talk about, like, making builds or anything like that. There's, like, thousands of YouTube channels that does that, right? So, as a small-time game developer and self-proclaimed logician, just simply talking about what I think is important should be sufficient. Because, like, having discussions is probably the thing that I like doing the most anyways. How long do we have left of this Nora?
Now, just in case some of you ain't doing all this out of the kindness of your
got
heart.
plenty of time. Do we have any mods that we want? I love Critical Mutation, one of my favorite mods. Metamorphic Magazine. Wish that was not terrible. Wild Frenzy. Crocota. This could be funny. Purifying flames, bursting mass, rejuvenation, metamorphic, purging slash. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing though. Because if it's a hot topic, then it would be easy to capitalize on uh the trends in the situation, as well as I'm not necessarily talking about something that I don't care about, right? Because I don't really like making build videos. It feels a little bit like used car salesman-y, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I can just take Valkyr. I'll just use Valkyr here. Let's see. It's mirror defense. Sure. Do I have anything that destroys my energy? No. Okay, yeah. So Valkyr is the best choice here. So like, if I had to pick one of these three, it'd probably be Mag. But yeah, it's Grimlock's into. I think one of the issues with like trying to create a different system than they have now is that it's going to be hard to be like, okay, so how do we tell the player which one is worth more, which one's worth less, right? We could put like up arrows beside warframes in the warframe menu, right? Oh yeah, no, if you have to go, you gotta go, right? Like, I'm not here to keep you prisoner. We'll do that. I only have the Nell. Jeez. Okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your stay. That's my only hope. We'll do. I don't think I really need anything. Pulmonar. No, we'll grab all of these. And then let's make sure I'm using the right Valkyr setup. Yeah, well, this is it. Is it this regeneration? Yeah, okay. Okie dokie. Let's just knock this out.
I was thinking.
Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I've started to make a little bit of progress on my game. It's not much, but I got a character moving, right? I got some basic attack controls and movement controls. So slowly but surely, right? I gotta just keep on working on it, right? Just gotta spawn camp these guys. I'd rather not have to run back for them. Ba, 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 ba. Someone's run really far ahead. or something, because like, or at least I know exactly where the extraction is, which I guess is nice. We got a mirage. I think Prime sure-footed. I think personal knockback should be taken out of the game altogether. Like, it's a different story when it's like enemy knockback. But I think it's too unintuitive of a game mechanic at this point for how fast the game moves and how user-friendly the game's supposed to be. Everyone has overguard. That's an idea. So another issue that needs to be resolved is like generally what the devs want the gameplay experience to be. Because I don't feel like Archimedia was designed specifically to offer players challenge, right? Like it might not be the best like attempt, right? But it's definitely the main thing that they're trying, right? So they don't care about the general player experience in this situation. But if you take away the limiting factors of Archimedia, right, a lot of people are just going to go for the biggest one-shot builds possible, right? Like, consistently. I think that would be pretty obvious.
Your light once more.
I don't have any energy at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but there we go. I think they're dying to these hands. These version of the hands are really, really strong. Yeah, I think overall, like, there's a lot that could make Archimedia better. And there's also a lot that can make Archimedia worse, right? It ultimately depends on, like, what the goals are of the developers and what the, like, and what problem that they're trying to solve, right? Because if the goals are different, then, like, no matter what you do, it's not gonna matter, right? Gonna sneak back here. Just cut down on the mission time. That's ultimately what it is, right? Like, a lot of people might not necessarily understand that, like, if something is bad, it's bad. Like, changing one thing might not necessarily make it change for the better. Dude, this is why I do the early one. Is so that, like, we spend 45 seconds less in the mission overall. But, like, it also, like, is super trippy for people because I can still, like, make it so we don't ever have to deal with the thingy thing. I don't know. For me as a game developer, right? Yes, there's like from that perspective, right? From my perspective, it important that there's a certain level of game feel that I am able to have my players achieve, right? There's a certain way that I want the players to experience the game, but that should only be limited to the new player experience, or like if it's in multiplayer, like making sure that it's the general experience, right? If it's a single player experience, which is what I'm doing at the moment, like it doesn't matter what the general experience is, because like the most important thing is that people only get to experience the game once, the first time once, right? And I want them to have a great first time experiencing it. Like everything else is like, I sure I can make like plenty of systems and whatnot to make like repeated playthroughs better, 100%. But if I don't get hammer down the new player experience, right? And mind you, inexperienced new players experience, then like it's gonna be pointless, right? Like one thing that I don't understand is why devs put so much dialogue at the very beginning of the game, because it makes it so that I don't want to play. Like I don't want to read any of it. I want to skip all of it. And some people, mind you, some people do like that much dialogue, right? So like the storytelling style might not be for me, right? That's entirely plausible. But for me, I'm just like, I just want to play the game, you know? You can tell me the story as that's happening, right? So I'm not 100% sure about the perspective I want to use, but it's going to be... I want it to be a mix of, like, you know, action RPG, beat 'em up kind of thing, like Cult of the Lamb or like Binding of Isaac, where the basic concepts of the gameplay are really, really digestible. And, like, so basically, I want it to, so, do you want a mechanical explanation, or do you want a narrative explanation? Because those are two very different things, right? Because I guess mechanically speaking, right, I want you to be able to pick a character, right, and you know, you're exploring the unknown. You're building up your character's understanding of the world, right? And as you beat things, as you kill things, as you like figure out puzzles and mechanics, right, you'll be able to collect like a little bit of a reminder of each character, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever played Mega Man Battle Network, right? But essentially every enemy, you can take one of, like, you get a battle chip from them, right? Which is essentially one of their attacks, right? And you can take that attack and add it to your arsenal. But you can only do so many times, right? Like, it's going to be, it's a deck building game at the end of the day, right? So that way your character can grow more powerful, or you can customize the way you play the game and interact with the game. So you can go with something really powerful, or you can go with something really cool, you know? If that makes any sense. Gonna have really basic hack and slashing elements, right? If it's gonna be top down, it's gonna be, you have your basic attack, one special attack and one ultimate attack kind of thing. If it's side scroller, it'll be a little bit more intense, closer to Hollow Knight. I don't know. It really depends on what kind of explanation you're wanting before I give you a proper talk or like explanation. Like, some people just dive straight into, like, oh, let's get the art assets out. Let's do all of this. Let's do X, Y, and Z. Let's get all these inspirations. So I'm very mechanics focused when it comes to my methodology. Like, not necessarily in-game mechanics either. It's like, how am I programming it? How am I going to make it easier for me to add to the game? Which is why I like thinking about these things more than I like actually writing the code. So that's why it's taking me so long. It's because I'm just convincing myself that I don't want to... Like, it's more fun just to theory craft than to actually put it together, you know? And it's taking a lot of my concentration to, like, force myself to actually sit down and go, hey, I want to code this now. Please and thank you. And no vibe coding. Just absolutely no vibe coding. I hate the idea of vibe coding. Right. Like, I'm a classically trained computer scientist. At least with my introductory basis. So it makes very little sense to vibe code ever. I think it's great for productivity side of things, where like people are like, oh, I need to do X, Y, and Z. Let's just have something do it for me, right? I 100% understand where people come from in their desire to use that technology, but it's under no circumstances superior in any way, shape, or form. Every process has pros and cons, right? Vibe coding might be fast, but there is once the project gets above a certain size, there is 0% chance that you will ever be able to maintain it, right? Oh, I'm going to be doing it using Godot. I'm not going. I don't have the skill set to. I don't. Yeah, have the skill set or understanding of engine development, let alone encoder development, to like really go that direction. I also don't have the patience for it, because clearly, like, I have some form of ADD or some form of attention to, like, something's wrong with my ability to concentrate, be it like developmental or like environmental, right? But so like I don't have the patience to go through and learn who activated one? Who activated one and was not able... That's so annoying. I'm not going to be able to rescue the day if I don't know what's happening. Yeah. But, like, yeah, I'm not trying to just put myself down for the sake of... or make excuses for myself. There are fundamental issues with the way I learn, right? If I enjoy something, then, like, I will spend a long time in learning it, right? If I don't enjoy something, then I don't want to spend any time learning it. And I think that's normal, right? But that's the whole reason why I was, like, some classes in university I wasn't able to really succeed in, right? Is because, like, I just didn't want to spend the time learning. But when I got into basic computer science stuff, right, or when I started learning it, I read the bloody textbook cover to cover. Like, and I noticed it's this clear dichotomy there, right? Like, I have a slightly obsessive element to the way I engage with information, and if I really enjoy something, I'm going to dig my fangs as deep as I can into it. Okay, where's white? White's all the way here. I don't trust anyone. Yeah, but I'm using Godot. I might need to change it depending on what the limitations of Godot are, but I haven't run into any so far. And it does a lot of things that I need, so... Or, like, you know, it's simple enough for me to develop most of the project and make it easy enough for people to interact with that aren't necessarily developers. And that's another thing, right? That's another thing that vibe coding will never do. You will never be able to get other people to work on the project because right? AI agents are terrible at code maintenance, and you desperately need code maintenance. But an AI agent will never be able to develop a project so that it is modular enough for other people, especially non-programming people, to write code for you, right? The way that I'm trying to develop my code is so that, like, if I wanted to, I could pass it off to my nephew, right? And they'll be able to just drag and drop everything that they need and make an enemy, you know? Of course, it's not. That's an oversimplification of things. But where is it? Okay. I'm doing a decent amount of damage. I don't need to do the most. Never need to do the most. What's this Mirage using anyways? It's Twin Sobek. It doesn't tell us what thing it is. It's whatever. We just need one. We just need one and then we're done. This was fairly painless this week though. Okay. I'm just gonna take this and do this and then leave. Do. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I might be, like, naive in my perspective in how I approach anything, really. And that's part of the learning process, right? Like, oftentimes when you start a project, when you start something new, you're going to be really naive and very hopeful about it. That's why you want to pursue it, right? A lot of the time. It's not because, like, you see it as difficult, you're going to tackle it. It's because you think it's possible, right? Doing difficult things leads to you being a great person. That's one thing that people will always say. But you don't do something necessarily because, like, because it's difficult, right? Like, eating a boulder with a knife and fork is difficult, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing to do, right? You should still, like, if you should still seek achievement where it's possible for you, right? And a lot of people kind of have, like, they won't say this outright, but a lot of people have this desire to seek out glory in one way or another, right? Everyone wants to be seen as this great person that has helped or changed the lives of tons of people, right? That's what a lot of people want, and that's why a lot of people end up so empty at the end. It's because we're taught, a lot of us, especially in developed nations, right? We're taught to serve the greater good, or make the greatest impact, or be the best person, right? And that leads us into constant conflict with one another, constantly trying to one-up one another, constantly looking for someone who can parody your achievements. Like, it's unrealistic. and unsustainable. It's a pyramid scheme. That's what it is, right? Oh, Johnny was successful, right? And he recruited his two friends who were also as similarly successful, who recruited two of their friends, you know. Except it's instead of recruiting one person, you're recruiting thousands, you know. Wrong way. I know that the sign says that I was going the right way. It's the wrong way. Yeah. That's just how it be. I don't know. I have a lot of very heavy-handed opinions about things. And I can openly recognize that, right? And I can completely understand why it doesn't jive with a lot of people, and which is why I don't talk about these things very often. But just because you say you're a good person or think that you're a good person doesn't make you a good person. Just because you say that you want to talk about taking the moral high ground or being moral or anything like that doesn't make you morally superior to another person. Because fundamentally, you can't have a discussion on a nebulous topic without agreeing on what that topic is. Or the values of that topic. There's rules to the engagement, right? Oh no, I would not, I'm constantly surprised at how people are able to push things to new horizons, right? It's not the idea of pushing, like, what I'm getting at is, like, some people choose to do things that are difficult, like, for the wrong reasons, right? There are difficult topics that are valuable and difficult topics that are not, right? For instance, if your whole life's goal is to do something that's difficult, right? Then you should probably try to eat rocks with a knife and fork as your daily routine. It's extremely difficult, and no one is able to else will be able to achieve that. But at the end of the day, what difference are you making, right? What have you accomplished other than probably shortening your lifespan? You know, that's a thing I feel about a lot of people's goals in the recent decade, is that everyone wants to be the person who solves X, Y, or Z problem, or if they don't have a problem that they actually care about, they'll make up a problem and try to still be worshipped as a hero afterwards, right? I'm certain that some of you back home can piece together some similar situations, right, on both sides of the pond, you know. I'm not intentionally trying to be really disparaging or anything. It's just that I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to communicate anymore. I just know that if I want to do something with my life, I gotta understand that it might not be something massive, right? It might not shake the world to its core. It would be great if it could be, but a lot of people either just want to make money or be the greatest person ever, right? Oh yeah, no, it goes both ways. 100% goes both ways, right? Da Vinci is one of the most celebrated people in almost all of history, for art and for science, right? Though his sketches on the human body were a little bit divisive, to say the least. Oh yeah, no. There's a difference between the hard things that Da Vinci did, right? Which was getting permission from the church to dissect a cadaver and to illustrate the cadaver or pursue like mathematics in such a way that it is, or physics in such a way that like it could be plausible for, you know, any number of inventions to sprout from, right? Like those things were difficult, right? But like that's different, right? Like what I'm saying is you shouldn't do things because they're difficult. That you should do things because you want to do them. Hello, girly bread. It's been a long time since I last saw you. How you been? Yeah, but like the main thing I'm getting at is like like it doesn't matter what you want to, like it doesn't matter what it is, right? You should want it for yourself, right? No matter how small it is. And the reason why you should want it is not because it's difficult, is what I'm trying to get at. Or like because it'll make change, right? Like because I'm just saying that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy of like you never being able to accomplish it. Oh, why are you not doing so well? Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Like, it's a passion for a lot of folk, right? But, like, I guess, like, what I'm getting at is, like, a lot of people are given this passion for reasons that are malignant to them, right? Like, how many of you know someone, or not, like, personally or impersonally, right, that strongly believes something that is the flavor of the month, right? Like, it constantly changes, and they're constantly trying to high road you or tell you that you're wrong for X, Y, or Z reason. And, like, but, like, as soon as, like, they start doing something similar, right, what their complaints about you are no longer, like, it's fine when they do it, right? Or, like, they constantly change their moral stance on something, right? Okay. I mean... Like, she left as in you, broke up, or... I'm sorry if I'm prying a bread. Like, did you... like, break up, or is it, like... you stepped away from the situation kind of thing? Because... communication's really hard. I'm still really bad at communicating. And it's always going to, like, because, what? I can only control and see what's in my own head. I have no idea what the other person's feeling, thinking, or, like, what they're trying to actually communicate. Or if they understand what I'm trying to communicate, right? So... so that's all I can really say on the matter. Sweet, Archon Shard. Good stuff. Well... I mean, all I can really do is say, just take it out a little bit at a time, right? Because I can't... I don't know enough about the situation. I wish both of you the best. right? I'm not about to just offer you a bunch of unsolicited advice for this particular matter, because I'm not very good at this stuff. I think I spend the majority of my existence wanting to be understood, right? So I have a fixation on that. And it, you know, like, it often leads to disagreements or whatnot, because like, you know, if I feel like someone is misconstruing what I'm saying, especially someone I care about, then, like, or not, not going through the process of trying to understand what I'm saying, then, like, I have issues, you know. So all I can say is communication is difficult, because, like, it's really difficult to achieve a bit of homeostasis where both of you get what you want out of a conversation. At least for me. Why am I so slow? What the heck? Yeah. Either way. Lots of folk have similar issues, though probably don't understand that. And, like, it's not something you can really poke fun at either, because it's like, if it, like, because I think between you, like, between everyone, right, I think communication is the most difficult thing and most important thing, and most valuable thing that, like, people can do with one another. And some people just take it as a, like, if they don't do X for me, then, like, it's not, like, worth it, right? A lot of people out there, which I don't think is right. So I'm constantly trying to work around, like, the needs of the people I care about and my needs, right? And sometimes it'll feel unfair, you know. I don't know what they're going through, exactly what they're feeling. All I can do is try. Well, not really sure what kind of advice to give at this point, or if I should be even giving advice. Probably feels rough Eddie, though. Not knowing where she is and whatnot. Right. Emotions being high and everything. Everyone's talking on a completely different note, though. Everyone, I'm while I'm using this gun, I'm reminded of the new one that we got last week. That was, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. Yeah, it feels awkward. Like, flip-flopping conversation-wise. Like, it's more so, like, that's where my brain's going. So I'll try to keep on pace. I mean, Bread lover, you can stick around and like, you know, just wallow a little bit. Think about everything. Don't have to push too hard. Yeah, I know, but like it feel like it doesn't feel amazing to like have a serious topic and then immediately flip flop to something else just because I see a butterfly, you know, fly around. So corrective action is to address it.
What do these do? You got it.
I don't really want to do. What other weeklies do I have? I guess that's the real question. I guess I have the Archon Hunt, and maybe I have the calendar for sure. I also have maybe Descendiant. Depends if there's an Archon shard here or not. There isn't. Oh, fine, fine. We'll do this. Is there anything special on the normal one? No, won't tell. We'll do Descendia. We'll chat a little bit. Oh, did I just get a weird DOS menu thing when I with a screen transition?
After all you have learned, you return here. Why? Do you believe there is something left to gain? Some stone left unturned?
So let's get some efficiency down.
Struggle to keep pressure from becoming too great. What was it that single trophy? Anger, humiliation, lust?
I mean, I'm gonna have to wait until the pressure builds no matter what, so. Everything is so tanky, Jesus. What's the modifier? Foes vulnerable to RPGs. Okay, so that means they take 95% damage from everything else. Which I think... I don't know how much I like that. Yeah, but... Sometimes the best thing to do is wait. Sometimes the best thing to do is chase after them. I can never tell which one is the correct one. And every individual has a different valuable reaction, right? So it's gonna change one more time, I think. Around here? Yeah. Okay, let's keep on going. Where's the exit? There it is. We're gonna be here for a hot minute, though.
This demon, this groveling, it mocks us with all its greed. It must be vanquished, for decency's sake.
So this is more of a loot stage. It's a little weird that it's so early. Well, got the loot.
But who you kill that matters in the end. So, get out there and kill someone special.
There's so much going on. Are these all eczemas? Yeah, they're all eczemas. I wish that... Sorry, my voice is going. I wish that, I could, you know... get drops from these eczema, so that I could get, like, you know, the ribbon shards and whatnot. I would also love a rehash of the ribbon system altogether. Maybe take away a little bit of its top power. Like, okay, I'll tell you what. If I were DE, this is how I would handle it, right? I would leave the base ribbon system alone, right? And so that people can always, you know, use it. But I would give a different system as a different choice. And make that one way more consistent, but the maximum power level is, like, not necessarily leagues below, but, like, 1 or 2 tiers less, right? So let's say, like, the maximum crit rate that you can get, right, for a 5 polarity weapon or 5 affinity weapon would be like 200% crit chance, right? From the original, like maybe drop it to like 175 or 150, but like make it super way more consistent, you know, like, and or more expensive. Like for consistency, like there has to be a cost. And I think it should be power and, like, cost to maintain.
Tinkering with forces they clearly did not understand. What unholy project failed this onto your psyche,
Chemical warfare. So there's poison. That's basically all there is to it. It's poison.
I do not know which is more troubling, when you can recall or when you cannot.
Oh well, there goes my combo. Yeah, I really don't know. Probably later today I'll continue to chip away at my game, right? Add hitbox detection, add projectile code. Nothing story related at the moment. It's way too early for high concepts like that. At least for to implement code-wise. I'll probably hire a writer at some point to really flesh things out. And that's the thing, right? It's gonna take a little bit to find the right people for this kind of stuff, because there's a very specific story that I want to tell. Because like it's gonna be it's gonna be inspired by my original, like my longest running D&D campaign. These guys are not dropping anything. Oh, Mr. Bubbles, why? Why do you exist and cause me nothing but misery? I need to reacquire my um, efficiency. I'm not gonna get max efficiency out. It's fine.
Nothing shook my faith like listening to music from the year 1999.
Well, that's one day. Okay, where's the last one? Apparently dead. Oh, we'll grab this. Might as well. Glassmaker Cephalus? What?
Bonjour, bonjour. Peace. What little I shall never leave your side, mon cœur.
Yeah, make yourself something to eat, man.
These corrupted memories will never defeat you, mon cœur. May soul guide you.
Penance. Glassmaker Cephalites. What on Blue Blazes are Glassmaker Cephalites? So, one of the lead writers for Warframe said that the old piece actually happened and there's no what was it? Eternalism shenanigans? Which is annoying because it violates a lot of the currently existing lore. But, like, the way that people remember things is going to be different. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't understand what... Like, this is cool, don't get me wrong. I would much rather these modifiers than, like, the current Archimedia ones, but like, I'm so confused with what's going on. Oh, that it violates the base lore. How so? How would Arcanes violate the base lore? Like, this was like way back on Plains of Eidolon, right? So like, there wasn't a lot of lore back then. Is one excuse that I'll give it, but the other one is like, we're able to modify our frames like so early already. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. Like, before, right, all of the Riot products had different universes. So, like, I kind of didn't mind it. But now that they're making everything canon to the core universe, it's kind of silly. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because, like, Victor's, like, I'm a machine man doesn't really exist now, right? He's an arcane man now. Another one?
Mindless destruction. Perhaps this is a memory of the devil's from when he was a little boy smashing his toys.
Could you imagine being alive for like, and you have like everyone else has human lifespans, by the way, so you're not an elf or anything weird like that from any other fantasy. So, can you imagine like growing up as a normal person, like physically, and like then at some point becoming immortal, right? So you're living like tens of thousands of lifetimes, right? Do you think it's even possible to remember like your initial lifetime at that point? Like, sure, they're what's going to be forming your like basic perception on the world, but I don't think you'll have very many memories that you could call back on.
If you feel this is
Another one of these?
don't turn back. Do not put yourself at risk for his sake.
Sure.
I do
I
not
don't really appreciate
wish to end this.
having to do this again, but it's whatever. A little bit of efficiency is better than what I could ask for.
The devil is our locomotive, and we must blow up his steam.
Well, let's say you have perennial youth, right? Oh, screwed that up greatly. So, like, you are always, like, in your, I don't know, mid-20s, I guess. I think 24 is when you actually start aging, like, start deteriorating. So, let's say you like, just turned 24, kind of thing. And then you'll never age, like physically age out of that. You're the only supernatural thing here. Man, it's a little hard to draw this back down. Especially when, you know, I'm trying not to go down with the ship. Apparently there was a tragedy with a cruise liner recently where the captain abandoned the ship. And like left everyone else to go the way of the dodo bird. I was just like, I thought it was captain goes down with the ship, right? Like, because the captain should have to like, could be the last one, like first one on, last one off kind of thing, right? I don't think you should be allowed to be a captain of a passenger ship without that sentiment, you know? Hello, Steve! Welcome, welcome. How you doing? It's been a hot minute. How's life? Why is it so far away? I'm trying to empty that bar up until that little square on the left, and like it's so far away, so very, very far away. I'm almost there. This blah 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 blah. Swear to God, if you put it on the other side of the map again. I'm a little annoyed. This map is actually a nightmare for this. Life's good? That's good to hear. Very good to hear, my dude. Oh my god! Stop spawning up. Where? There's supposed to be 2 spawning. Where's the other one? Save me from this nightmare. It's almost done anyways, but still, it's like comedically evil at this point. That was awful. That was probably one of the worst experiences you could have. How long have I been streaming for today? I need to check after this.
What is that horrible smell? Devil, is that you?
Toxic Eximus Cabal. That's... Oh, so it's 3 types of eczema because there are 2 types of leech eczema. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna work on basic combat for game stuff and make sure that it feels good. Once it feels good, then I will start adding more to it, adding a little bit more complexity, doing some menu stuff. You remember me talking about like I'm good at doing things and learning things that I do enjoy. I don't enjoy doing menus. I think that they are so monotonous. I really, really don't like programming them. I don't know if anyone can relate though. But that's just a Suragism. Yeah. So Steve, have you been up to anything interesting as of late? Yeah, like for instance, UI menus, like pause menus, option menus, dialogue menus. No, I don't have my normal weapon anymore, or the normal weapon I use for this. I don't have. Everything's exploding. It's so hard to see. But there is one of these this week, so if that's something you care about, that's gonna be great. It's floor 13, so it's actually pretty deep in. I got a bunch of stuff, I feel like. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Heat damage resistance.
Yes, onward.
Yeah, I just don't like them. That's all there is to it. Like, they're really simple because you just have to link them to another menu, essentially, or link them to another scene, and that's all that it really is, right? I understand that. It's just something that grinds my brain the wrong way. Like, and I'm super miserable. I think it's because like even if it's like a point and click adventure, I don't necessarily want to do it, you know. I'm stuck. There we go. Save myself. I do like one thing that I eventually want to do is I want to do one of those old school interactive menus. That could be kind of fun, but like that's a lot of extra work for something I really don't like doing. Depends on the point and click adventure. I find that a lot of them go like, oh, like it's going to be random RNG, like what actually goes together. It's like, oh, you have to combine a snail with a straw, so that you can like pluck out its eyeballs, so you can use it in this soup that this hag likes, and they just like to see things a little bit more clearly is the only hint you got. But definitely not the carrots in your inventory. That is like, you know, always a misconception that they help with eyesight or anything like that. You know? Something like that. Sometimes they're really intuitive. Sometimes they're just kind of like, I need to figure out how to get this to interact with something else. I do think like it takes a certain level of skill to do make like, because you need a lot of planning, right? You just outright need a lot of planning for point and click any game, but point and click adventures narratively. So like I get it, especially once you have to make a really big one. It's really hard to do those things consistently. Another Kalimos, okay. Vampiric limnesses. So these vampiric limnesses don't eat my energy, so, and they do damage instead of percent health drain. So I do wish that you could, you know, kill them, because they're really annoying and not helpful. They're you don't interact with these things. That's like my biggest pet peeve about a lot of quote unquote difficulty, is that it's not really interactive, right? Like say what you want about like Slay the Spire and whatnot, but I feel like there are a lot of bosses, especially in multiplayer, which they don't have any interactivity at all. Like, you're kind of, it's kind of rock paper scissory. Like, if you just have the wrong build for a boss, then you're dead, and I don't like that. I also don't think there's enough opportunity for you to influence like how you want to build your deck. You're kind of just left at the whims to make the best out of a bad situation, which I get that that's enough for some people. But it's like, sometimes it's just like really, really frustrating when I just like, I have like all but one piece of my combo. All my cards are great, but like I've been building my deck with the hopes of finding like one piece, and there's zero way to influence like how, whether or not I'm gonna have access to that thing, right? That's how I feel about Enter the Gungeon as well. This is like very, like, outside of being good at the game, like there's very little influence on like how the build turns out, because it's like 100% RNG. Alright, Steve. Take care. Stay safe. And enjoy life, alright?
Such boils fester within all.
Okay. That's a funny reason to think, like, to have like everyone think that carrots give you good night vision. I mean, it's a permanent part of like the social memory now, right? Of the entire world. If you know what I mean. I've never done this mission type in this specific tile set. I love the horde shooting aspect of the game as much as the next guy, but I feel like after a certain point, like I do want a little bit of concentrated like design elements that actually, you know, are represented a little bit better. I don't know. I guess that's the whole reason why I'm making a game, right? It's because like I want to see how much of what I want in a game can be distilled and how much whether or not other people will enjoy it. I guess that's gonna be a big thing, right? Another one of these? Okay.
Speed would be important when on the battlefield, I suppose.
We're just gonna keep on running. Not sure why this is all the way in floor 19 though. Doesn't really matter because nothing really scales in here. Just an odd choice as well. Hey, it's Alex. Welcome, welcome. Defend, okay.
Marie, take heart.
It's Marie,
Friends will defend.
everyone's waifu. That kind of makes things sound a lot worse than they actually are. Do, do, do. I think I skipped last week's stream, right? Or the week before? I don't remember anymore. Cause like I keep having life stuff to deal with. No, I streamed for a little bit last week, but not a lot. Because there was TennoCon, but I also had life stuff to deal with. And me being exhausted all the time isn't helping. So this is like the first week in a while that I haven't been like super duper exhausted. I still need to get my ghoul saw. I think I'm just gonna get it. Like, I don't... Like, the sentimentality is worn off on him, so I'm just gonna go kill him. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Secondary irradiate? Secondary irradiate? Okay. Yeah, anyways. How have you been, Alex? I hear they've added cushions to Minecraft, finally. I believe cushions was in a mod since, like, 2013, though. So... I believe the mod that I saw it in was called Zabuton. It came along with a, I think there was like a tiny maid mod at the same time. But that's largely besides the point.
You could embody that is grander than me.
Something feels a bit off about them. I think I think it's because you don't sit at like block height, right? You're sitting slightly adjacent to them, as well as like the graphics are a little bit too fancy for something. I like, mind you, I don't follow Minecraft all that much, so I don't know too much about it. Um. I guess we're gonna do this. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours, not that long. Well, about half the time. Half the time. Where is my chat so I can see? Mobile D interception. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so basically, because they were designed with the intention of being like dynamically placeable, like it kind of violates one of the core rules of the game, is what you're saying. Or at least it feels like that's what you're saying. And that's why it feels off to you. I'm just gonna quickly generate a kill. It'd be so cool if they made Tau combine with other elements, though. It'd be so cool. I like... If it was just a standalone element, that'd be fine, too. But... Overall... yeah. You can place it... Lock up. Okay. So they're essentially doing, like, imperial measurements instead of a proper, like, fractional. Okay. Yeah, because, like, Minecraft used to have, like, a very uniform, like, power of two methodology of everything. I guess times are changing. Because everything in Minecraft used to be powers of two, right? Like, down to every design element. Except for, like, you know, the inclusion of mobs themselves. Which could cause a lot of lag, I imagine. Oh, it's one of you. That's why everything takes so much less damage. Burn. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I think that's the whole reason why, like, Minecraft hasn't had chairs the entire time, because, like, there aren't very many interactables, like, that aren't entities, right? It's limited to buttons and doors and pressure plates. I don't know if that's changed or not. But, like, everything else that's interactable in that way is an entity, right? I guess chests, too. Chests and shulker boxes. I feel like they have their own special categorization as well. Yeah, they're actual blocks, right? But there's very few things that don't just open up a menu that you can actually interact with, right? That isn't an entity. There's way more entities that do that than there are blocks. Yeah, I forgot about beds. But yeah, they used to be tile entities, so. What about shulker chests? Or shulker boxes, or whatever they're called. Oh yeah, signs were a thing. Or are a thing. They're one of my favorite blocks. Or items to use. I used to use them to block all sorts of, like, flows of liquid, but now, like, they're susceptible to things like lava, right? So. Oh, are they? No, they're not. They're not, right? They're not susceptible to lava at the moment. I don't know what I'm saying. It's been a long time since I played Minecraft ever. Like, long time. I just don't have the time to play, like, a committed, like, survival or sandbox game. You think signs are immune? Okay.
Of the Archon's trail. The hunt can begin.
I'm glad that Mojang has started to make more fantastical enemies and items again, as well, like the sulfur cube and everything. I was kind of really bored about like their whole shtick about trying to add actual animals into the game. Like I think as fascinating as it is, it's really boring, right? When I play a game, I kind of want to see fantastical things. Like, for instance, in older Minecraft, when they added axolotls, right, and cats, it's like it's kind of like, oh, there are these like undead and everything, and then these are like the only semblance of normal creatures, right? The passive mobs, right? But now we got pandas, we got all sorts of nonsense that don't even reproduce, right? So it's I don't know, it's a little weird. I think like if you're going to add pandas to the game or polar bears to the game, you should be allowed to make them reproduce, right? What kind of guy is the Xbox CEO? Is he the kind of guy that's going to be like, you should I want to make a game where people have to pay to like reload, move, or jump? Imagine a game where it's about exploration, but you can pay $50 to make yourself walk 25% faster. Ugh, hate those people.
Facility is a communication
Absolute
device
rodents.
for armor. Listen in. I want to know what is
Have absolutely no understanding of why something is successful. The only thing they know how to do is like ruin it and make it like not enjoyable anymore. That's the only thing that I see from these folks. With the improved Bastille, now I can extend my little excursions. Oh, what do you... sir? You're not supposed to be here. And I have to go back. Because you decided that you wanted to take the time out of your day to make my life a little less convenient. Oh, what would be the other one at that point? Oh, you wrote she's salad. I understand. She's salad, okay. I mean, like, yeah, Minecraft's always going to be, like, the biggest thing, you know? Like, you can have... Like, here's the thing, right? Like, even if Minecraft gets samey, right? You're almost never gonna have Mojang directly associated with something like what Roblox has done to people, or kids, or what uh Fortnite has become, or you know the kind of cesspool VR chat is, or whatever. Like all of these places where like you know you're gonna find a bunch of children regardless of like the medium, you know. I don't know. I don't know. That's what makes Minecraft timeless, though. Like, yeah, I wish there were more updates. I wish that they did more things with every update. But also, like, they are almost always constant. Oh. Why am I missing you so badly? There we go. There are more enemies spawning than I'm usually aware of. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I mean, they also have infinite content too, right? In the form of mods and whatnot. I'm not going after that.
And I beheld a great ram, and the horns of him crowned with sorrow and with tow. And upon his tongue the Zariman flame
I would like to eventually deal with Era, but, you know,
before him.
it's whatever at the moment.
He feared it not.
Has DE caught wise to my tricks? Oh, that is actually an enemy that's all the way in the middle of nowhere. The big suck. Well, let's see. If they add the ability to make block, then we probably would be getting a marketplace so they can be distributed like that. Maybe for Bedrock. I don't think that would work on Java. I honestly don't think that would work on Java. Because, like, well, we've already had a similar instance of something like that in Skyrim, right? Or Bethesda. With the community swap store or whatever it's called. You know? I honestly don't think it's gonna work. Like, I can see it for Bedrock. Because Bedrock is really, really restrictive. but I don't see it for Java at all. I don't see how it's a possibility. I could be wrong. I can be 100% wrong, but it doesn't sound plausible to me. Not only would they crash out, it just wouldn't work. They would not be able to acquire enough market share. I think what they need to focus on if they care about money is just focus on making realms better, right? More accessible. Give more like user-friendly things that doesn't require like a person with a PhD in Java engine control to like make work, you know. Because like the whole thing about Minecraft and the modding scene is that like it's like the most pronounced thing about like mid-stage Minecraft consumption, right?
Just admit it, Nata. You're scared to face the possibility.
Realms are pretty much plug and play, right? But if you want to add like mods to it or things like that, or you want to add like some kind of additional server commands, like you would either have to find what were they called? Data packs, I think that's what they're called, or be able to program it yourself using either third party or what is available in Minecraft's programming stuff, or hire someone to do it, right? So I'm right though, right? Alex, like it's really difficult to get like realms and data like and customization to work together, right?
To rebuild paradise, Azul's armor will destroy all they consider makers. Archon Naira will be at the forefront of the slaughter.
Yeah, so I think like giving additional accessibility to realms and like in terms of both financial and financial availability, like you know, being able to access it regardless of your financial status would be a good thing too, because like the majority of Minecraft players are kids, right? And a lot of them will want to play with their friends, but not all of them know that hey, there are server hosting websites out there, right? And I think that's a perfect opportunity to capitalize. It's like, hey, you could run a really small server off of Realms for nothing, if like, and you know, if it's just two or three people playing on it, maybe four max, then I think that should be enough, right? That should be fine. Hang on, I'll read things in a moment. Just doing showdown stuff. Let's see. The fact is on Java you have to buy £7 a month. 10 player one. On Bedrock you can buy a 2-player one for yeah. So like, if you set up a realm that, or set it up so that like you could have like you can just make it so that an account can only have so like one or two free realms, right? One like each that was set up on their own, right? So that means between a friend group, like if you have 4 friends, so that's 5 total people, right? You each have the ability to each make like 2 realms each, right? That you guys can do whatever you want, right? At that point. I don't know. Like, and then like if you want to add more people, right? You guys can pool money and upgrade one of the realms, you know? I think that's the reason. Hello, Bread Lover, welcome back. Yeah, I mean, they can also spend time uh this is not like a good solution, mind you, right? Oh, I messed up. But like if you I screwed up. Save me. Oh, I messed up. If you have a like, you know, there are plenty of monetizable Minecraft servers out there, right? That like you they don't that Mojang could make themselves, that have the sponsors and whatnot, the way that other things like just have big Minecraft events that are hosted on these servers, right? And you know, they don't have to be the only ones, but like I think a lot of people would jump at the idea of like a, for lack of better terminology, like a Minecraft world, or like, you know, Minecraft land or something, like where, you know, Mojang's the one helming the ship there and getting the sponsors. But like that's a whole nother bag of worms, right? Because like it's going to be a lot of investment for potentially no gain, right? It's all depending on the sponsors and whatnot. But like I think, for instance, while the Minecraft live events are going on, right? You can go into these Minecraft land worlds or whatever and experience like a sneak peek of everything that's gonna go on in those servers, right? I don't know.
Azul preaches of
A
Tau.
compute crisis?
The great
They've been having a rough
beasts
rough
none have
uptime
seen
as of
in
lately.
common centuries, nor heard it speak.
Uh,
Naira and her kin were doubly
I don't know. Like, Microsoft is one of the biggest. Oh, my foot's asleep. My foot's asleep. It hurts. Hang on. Oh, okay. The thing is, Microsoft is one of the biggest companies out there, right? It's easily one of the biggest companies in the world. And like they're being a tech giant, having all of these tech solutions, like like if they really care about making Xbox or Mojang succeed, it's just a matter of like just letting them have access to some of those resources for next to nothing, right? Because Xbox is a Microsoft subsidiary, right?
You dealt with Archon Naira expertly, Tenno. Her kind may expect no mercy, no redemption.
Some Warframe lore stuff before anything, because like my brain is stuck on it. What doesn't make sense to me is about the old piece is that it implies that after we were saved from the Zeriman, which was supposed to be the only manned ship to try to make it to Tau, right? They tried again and succeeded. And in fact, they succeeded so hard that it was plausible for like the Orokin to go to and from Tau with like maybe with a large amount of cost, but not necessarily like any risk, you know. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense because, like, for instance, Ballas, like making it to Tau sounds like really, really unlikely, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. They say the lore is what it is now, so okay. Let's see. Let's change my Mesa's appearance because I do have the new fancy skin. Oh, I like that. I like that quite a lot. Like so instead of like having this demon head, I don't like the demon head as much. This is quite nice. I'm going to keep the duster on, at least while playing on stream. I will take it off for a moment, just because I want to see her shoulders. Okay, so the duster adds pointed shoulders. Does it? Yeah, it does. Okay. So these aren't her shoulders. These are part of the duster. Okay, I understand. Let's see. Let's randomize the colors a little bit and see what I get. Oh, that's kind of cool. There should be a better helmet. I think her neck's jut a lot more than I would like. She got a dumpy though. She got a dumpy. I can put a hat on her hat. How about I do that? Oh yeah, it's okay, bread lover. It's okay, bread lover. Just take it easy, okay? That's all anyone can ask of you. I can put a hat on my hat. Look at that. It's hatception. What ephemera? I don't like that this is an ephemera. I wish I could also position the arms of this one, and also like the right arm tracking for this one is broken, so it's not necessarily my favorite. I don't know. Lots of choices, lots of choices. This just produces balloons, right? I don't like those. I don't know. I don't know. We'll do this one for now. Stay with default colors. We'll do some basic stuff, and then we'll probably call it a little bit early because I don't really want to run you know, doing nothing in Warframe for too long. I'm just here to hang out with all of you, check in once a week, try to make sure that you guys know that I'm not dead and I'm doing my best. Ow. Just gonna grab some energy. It's very basic stuff right now. Basic character movement. And so I have targeting controls for how I want them to like be able to be like, at least directional targeting controls for like how they decide where they want to point their weapon and whatnot. I don't have any like pinpoint targeting stuff because I feel like I can implement that, but since I want it in isometric, the math's going to be different later. I don't know. I gotta do a bunch of like proof of concept code first, I guess, before I hard commit. 350 Scaldra. It's a decent chunk of Scaldra. That guy has a rocket launcher. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, like young adults, maybe people my age, are starting to get blindsided by reality a little bit. Because, like, I think there are so many systems out there that, like, just want to profit off of you. That, like, it's just making a mess of a lot of people from the younger generation. I could be entirely wrong. But that's the way I feel. Like a lot of like the big political concepts and whatnot, the big movements, all exist so that corporations can make money off of you, right? And like the longer it takes people to figure that out, the harder it's going to be, because they think that they're doing the right thing by believing the right thing, and all they're doing is just buying junk. To show they support something. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm thinking about making an isometric 3D game. Just to return back to the original talking point. It's going to be like... I want the camera to be a little bit more on the dynamic side. So, not fixed, like Binding of Isaac is, for instance. But, you know, it's slow going because, like, it takes time for me to, and these are all excuses. 100% these are all excuses. But it takes time for me to like get out of my own headspace, right? And then convince myself to actually work on something. And then when I do, right, I have to have a goal in that matter. It's going to be mouse and keyboard. So the idea is that you're using... so it's going to be controller friendly, too. But it's going to be mouse and keyboard, so you'll be using WASD, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, spacebar, all that. And you're going to be using the mouse to, like kind of point your weapon, right? So you'll be moving with WASD, but you'll be targeting with the cursor.
Getting toxic out there. Hurry!
At least that's the intention so far.
I'm taking the opportunity to make some new.
The current concept for like how I'm going to be dealing with player retention is that no two gameplays or playthroughs will ever be identical, right? Like each playthrough can range from anything from like 1 to 40 hours kind of thing. Like it depends on your investment, right? It's like Cult of Lamb in that way, right? But every time you play the game, the world that you're playing in is going to be completely different. I need to figure out how to handle some of the environmental stuff for that and modifiers for that, but like I want to make it feel like its own contained experience. No. So, the idea, like this is going to be a tiny bit of a spoiler, but the idea is that, the place that your character is traveling to, right, is basically the center. It's like where all of people's thoughts and dreams and concepts gather, right? But it's also a physical place, so those thoughts and dreams and whatnot can manifest physically, right? And the idea is that since you're the player and you're the one perceiving the world like the most vehemently, right? Let's say imagine a hex map, right? And you only see like maybe 2 or 3 tiles, and that's where your character is. And your character is going to be drawing a map, right? And as they're exploring, right, when you go to a new hex, right, I haven't really decided on how I want to do this. I have a couple of working concepts, but if you, well, you're basically given a small assortment of tiles that you can put on the map, right? Be it forest, mountain, towns, or all of that, and you'll be able to place it on that hex, and that hex on this island that you're exploring will permanently be that tile, right? And placement of towns and forests will affect adjacent ones and like how things move in the background of the game. And so as a result, it's not necessarily just pseudo randomness. Like you're building your own adventure, and every time you place down a new tile, like the interactions between adjacent tiles are going to be different, right? Like say if you put 3 tiles together side by side, right, in a triangle, you're going to have like not just like a small wooded area. You're going to have an outright forest, right? And then the deeper you explore, right? Eventually, I want to add modifiers to these tiles as well, so that like you want to make level up the enemies in a forest tile, right? There are 2 ways to do it. You can surround it by forests, and if it's a deep enough forest, you can put like a cave system in there somewhere, something like that, and so on and so forth, right? As you're playing the game, right, it slowly gets a little bit more complicated, like the world at least, but it's based off of your influence. Like you're the one deciding where things go, right? For instance, for the story quests, right, you can be like, okay, you need to go to like this city that the NPCs want you to go to, but like the map doesn't just point you in the right direction. You choose where the city is, and you have to you're forced to explore the map and fill out the map in order to access that city. You know. that's the general idea of like the overhead part of like the grander game, right? The actual gameplay is like you hacking and slashing your way through things. I don't know if that makes sense or not though, or anything I said makes sense. I'm I'm trying to keep it understandable. Um, so but by this metric, you can understand like why no two gameplay throughs are going to be the same, right? Um, because well, the tiles, the map elements that you'll have access to won't ever be the same all the way through, right? And depending on which side quest you do first, right, you might put like a different tile in different places. How big would it be? I'm not 100% certain yet. To start off with, like especially at the stage I'm at, I'm probably going to stick with maybe a 4 hex diameter, or no, 4 hex radius circle. So you can do the math on how many hexes that is, including the center hex, of course. But like eventually, I want it to be a little bit bigger than that because like there's a big difference between 4 and 5 radius or hex radius, right? But then there's a even like it's an exponentially larger it gets exponentially larger because that's how circles work, right? The larger the radius, the larger the area. So, and I don't know how big I want it to be. I just know that I want it to be I want it to be both. I want it to be intuitive for non gamers to get into, right? They can just plug and play. They don't really have to care about it. But I also want it to have some deeper complexities, so that hey, I understand that I'm making it more difficult, but if I put like 6 forests together, you're making like a jungle, right? A, like a an old growth area, and things are going to be really, really, really old and really, really powerful in this area, right? And then there are other couple modifiers, but that's story spoilers that hopefully you guys can get to yourselves at one point in the future. I don't know. I've been wanting to make this game for years. I've been putting it off or trying it out over and over again. Like I've been trying to push myself to do it for the last 2 years, and I like this is the first time I put any of my thoughts into code because I know I can do it. I have the skill set to do it. I've just been putting it off like a twat, you know, like a dumbass. Let's play Ash. Because Ash is Ashen. Oh yeah, I put a hat on Ash. Let's get the new Incarnin. Incarnin Punchy Punch. We want the Rhoda, because I keep forgetting you exist. And then... I honestly don't know what kind of gun to bring here. Maybe... a Sevagoth's weapon. Let's see. How would the borders of them work? So, the idea is that there's going to be, like, no matter what, whenever you go and have your character actually explore the map, there's going to be some generative, like, you're going to do some random generation of the terrain, right? They're going to be, there's going to be some set tile setting, but, like, overall, like, you want to make sure that like each time you go into, say, your forest, you're not going to explore the exact same path, I think. And like, you know, just for convenience, you're not going to when you're exploring for the sake of exploring or looking for something. So the biggest thing is that the game is going to be separated into 3 parts, right? It's going to be separated into the towns that you're going to, or the towns that you're responsible for, and the towns that you're not. They're both this, you know, they're going to be more menu focused. They're going to be more like you're going to be able to build up your outposts however you want. I haven't decided how the resources are going to be handled. That's later. So that's number 1. That's where you're going to get your quests. This is how you're going to interact with NPCs. Blah 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 blah. 2, there's going to be the map layer, where you can look at your map, and this is where you're going to be adding your tiles and things like that. Those ones are largely going to just be they're going to be individual tiles on their own, like say Sid Meier's Civilization, right? Similar to that. If you know, I get funding, if I get like people that are actually good at visual stuff, then sure, we can do some blending of the borders, but mostly they're going to be unique. Like they're going to be self-contained tiles, unless like you do something special. Like if you put 3 forests together, they are going to combine into one big tile together, right? Something like that. And then the visuals are changing there. And then the last part is, well, if you're going to be exploring the forest, right, you're going to be exploring the forest. There's going to be a map. There's going to be it's going to be like a dungeon crawl. You're going to try to figure your way through it, and sometimes you're not going to be able to find what you're looking for before having to retreat, right? So I do want to have it set up so that if you are purely trying to explore, then like you'll be able to save that map and keep exploring. But if you're purely dungeon diving, or like it's supposed to be a one-off quest or something like that, then it's going to be a generated environment. Is my hopes. What's the visual style going to be like? It's definitely going to be on the cartoony side, with some anime influence. I think closer to Limbus Company, somewhere between Limbus Company and Cult of the Lamb is where I want to hit. Something that's accessible for people. Because, let's be honest, some people just don't like the cartoon aesthetic. Some people don't like the anime aesthetic, right? But I do want it to be somewhat easy to consume, right? For visually, because I don't want things to be overly complicated. Like look at my character in Warframe, right? Like it's really visually clustered, right? And I'm going to stay away from ultra realistic anything. I'm going to stay away from as much 3D as I can as well, or at least visually 3D. Like if you can't tell if it's 3D, then like I have less problems with that. Enemies with melee. Okay. So, yeah, that's the general concept right now. Well, you can tell that it's not necessarily general. I'm also trying to not gush over every single detail, which I hope is understandable. I don't know if I'm properly set up. Am I properly set up? We'll find out in a moment. No, I'm not. I'm not properly set up at all. It's fine. So my invisibility is supposed to stack up as I do this, but I'm using the wrong build. It's not bad damage though. Let's see. Mobile support? You're asking like really far down the line. Tell you what, if I am if I am like 10% of like how successful Stardew was at its like early stages, then like any support is like within the realm of possibility, right? Because someone else is going to be porting that at that point, right? But I'm like I'm going to be trying to make sure to like properly market it. I'm going to try to properly make sure that it's engaging. That's a toxic Eximus. I don't want to deal with that. Is it dead yet? No, it's not. Curses. There we go. It's dead now. I just don't want to be near toxic eczema when I don't have to. We're just gonna keep on going. Yeah, we got the requisite number of kills. We can leave now. Of course it's gonna be desktop first. It's gonna be optimized, right? I don't intend to make a graphically intensive game, so like it will be fairly optimized. I don't think I'm gonna have any time-gated content. It's should be a self-contained experience. I maybe we'll add some online and multiplayer support, but that's later down the line, right? I want to make sure the single-player experience is good. But I do intend on making a lot of interesting narrative things as well. But, you know, we gotta get there first. It doesn't matter how much I talk about it or how interesting I think it is. If I don't make it, it doesn't matter, right? How about we go kill this guy before I drive myself insane, and then we'll call it, I guess. You've been egging me on to like work on my game for years now, though. You sound excited that I'm at all working on it. Which, thank you for that. It's very, it is very good for the confidence. I'm just gonna wait here for a little bit, let my gunners do the thing. Man, I hate these guns that I got, but they're the only Mark IVs that I found. I should do a little bit more railjack, get some more Mark IVs. I don't know. What aspects like catch your interest the most at the moment, conceptually? Because like, it's in such the early stages that, like, mind you, I'm not married, like super duper married to a lot of these things that I've talked about. I do want, like, if possible, I want all of it, but that might just be naive, right, to pursue. You know. I think it's reasonable to understand that as well. Oh my god, I can't see.
Fighters are falling back. Good work. Scratch one cruise ship.
I don't want pulsars, I want APOCs. Yeah, like, I don't know. Eventually I get to the stage where I can show off, like, NPC creation, or, like, you know, character, in, not like character creation, but, like, you know, more so like how I put together NPCs or the main cast and things like that. Ah, yes, the geometry would be interesting. Yeah, I think there's just a little bit more versatility with them, even though it makes my coding a little bit more difficult. I would like to be able to present the map in like a 2.5D kind of isometric way, so you can look through it, similar to like Skyrim's map, except way more interactive. Maybe closer to Sid Meier's. Yeah, Sid Meier's map. You think you have very implementation first? Oh, could you elaborate what you mean by that? Like, because there's a couple of ways you can go about implementation first, you know. Ah, my perfect lich. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna kill you. Hmm. Do I? No. I want to keep you around as a trophy. I'm gonna keep him around as a trophy, guys. I'm sorry. I've decided.
That's my inevitable score, meat sack.
I'm gonna keep him around as a trophy. He's not gonna be worth. He's like worth like what, 600 plat at most, but like, it's the point. It's the fact that I have like a perfect lich, right? Oh yeah, so you have like the classic like guy or engineer problem or programmer problem is just like, this thing is cool, I'm gonna add it. Uh-oh, where do I use it? Doesn't matter, I've made it, I'm happy. No, I fall into that all the time, which is why it's got taken so long for me to even start, because I keep wanting to, like, you know, do whatever the heck I want to do. If that makes sense. Okay. Yay. Uh, I forgot to check out like the Vidarzia, whatever her name is. Doesn't matter. During TennoCon, I might as well check now. Um, it's like a week after TennoCon though, so I don't know if I can still pick anything up.
Might want
want to refine any relics you get. For luck.
I guess, yeah, I missed out on some stuff. That's okay, there's always an extra. As long as I'm alive, as long as I'm playing this game, there's always an extra.
The circling
Okay.
hawk may choose at leisure.
Yeah. Anyone who's interested in chatting about this stuff, do let me know in the Discord if you have access to it. I know there's been a bot infestation recently. Not sure how to resolve it. I do intend to make a new Discord at some point. I'll hire a manager and whatnot. But right now, what I'm going to focus on is two things. Right, I'm going to still do these streams once a week because I want to stay connected with all of you. But like, it's not my biggest priority. My biggest priority is to get traction for the channel. So two things I'm going to do. One, I'm going to start doing some like small, like unfiltered, not necessarily reactions, but like, you know, I wanna communicate over some of the things I see within Warframe, right? So that I'll try to grow the Warframe side of things. I'm gonna keep working on the game and keep pushing forward with that. And once it's in a semi-presentable state, right? I'll get some artist friends of mine to draw some placeholders for me. So once I do that, I'll start doing some videos related to my content or to my game. Start promoting that. Try to get a Patreon for that going. Because if I end up making like a couple thousand right a month from that, then I can. It's a very realistic possibility that I can just quit my job, right? Da Vinci is a really strong program though. I think you gotta learn like the magic effects though first. Like that's like the core of Da Vinci. Anyways, I'm going to call it here. I hope you at least enjoyed sticking around for a little bit. I will probably work on my game later today. I'll do some commentary later today as well and upload that. And that'll be that. If you want to get a hold of me or you want to reach out, give me a shout out on Twitter or X or Discord. If you have, if you're in my server and whatnot, I check in periodically. I'm not always going to be hovering around because I'm very busy nowadays. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I hope the summer's not killing you too hard. Thanks for watching, and I need to use the restroom. Ta-ta for now. Bye.